Hey guys, what's going on? It is Chris here. We are looking ahead to today's slate for the 15th of April for MLB. As normal, hope you guys all had a pretty good day yesterday with playing some DFS. We got MLB and some NBA playing today. Definitely going to be excited about that. Going to be doing a video for that as well. If you guys do, go ahead and like the video. Leave a like. I definitely do appreciate it. Shows that you guys like it. And also, like I said, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button as well. 60% of you guys watched the video the last couple days and are not subscribed. So if you guys could help me out, I would definitely appreciate that. So yeah, yesterday was pretty dang good. If you guys did, you know, uh, listen to the video and put in some of the picks, you guys probably didn't do too bad. So, then like I said, I will try to make the video a little bit easier to read. But like I said, I go into the analytics about things. Like I said, I don't just go exactly why these are the top stacks. I go in depth into it. So, um, anyway, like I said, we scored a 219.9. Yes, I did not play. Like I said, I just made this one, and then I had to go do some stuff. But scored a 219.9. Definitely a top 5% finish last night. Kind of break it down for you guys. So we went Sonny Gray here. I went Baz in like cash games, and he had like what 58. He absolutely went off. Sonny Gray. I was expecting a couple more strikeouts. Houston doesn't strike out a lot, but I was expecting about 5 or 6. Still, 43 is amazing. And then we did a classic Tampa Bay and a classic Dodger stack. That's what we did there. Aranda 22.4, Lau 16.2, Junior Camamario 28.4, Betts 34. I mean, we literally smashed it. And then Otani, Conforto, and then we had Will Smith as our utility. So, like I said, 219.9 last night. If we would have entered that into the monster, yes, I know. But just to show you guys, we would have came in 42nd last night with $600 win. Even if you guys wouldn't have entered that, you guys would have cashed everywhere with that 219 last night, especially in double ups and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we got going on. Like I said, it was a nice W last night. We played early only, scored a 170 as well, and that was a top 8% finish. So baseball has been popping off the last couple days. Why not come join us? $20 per month, 2 lineups per day. And like I said, I know sometimes, don't know a lot about baseball or it's kind of confusing. Like I said, let us do the work for you guys. There's so many more numbers than NBA. It gets really confusing. Like I said, let us do it for you. We also have prize picks, $20 per month by itself. Um, if you want a combo MLB for the month, and like I said, you get about 6 to 7, maybe 8, picks per day, and then you guys can kind of put them in there. If you want to do a day pass, $9 for the day, or $5 for one lineup. We also have our free lineups. We're going to be posting those on our Discord. Message us on Twitter to get in on our Discord. We'll send you guys the link, and then Chris Anthony NBA One to follow us on Twitter. That's the best place to get a hold of us if you guys want to get in on premium, or like I said, hit us up on our free one. So, yeah, so we're going to break this down. It's going to be a little bit longer video. Like I said, I'm just going to go to the pitchers first, and then we're going to go to the stack. So I'm not even going to mention anyone, but we're just going to, like I said, look at a couple main things. Strike percentage, swing strike percentage, K rate, walk rate, ISO. ISO stands for isolated power, so that's basically how powerful the team is. So the higher the number, the better. Then you got your WOBA, which is basically your like on base percentage, but also like you get on all ways, walk, hit by pitch, whatever the case is, that's kind of how it is. So those are going to be the main things that we're focusing on. WOBA and ISO, the higher it is, the better it is for the hitters / worse it is for the pitchers. So we're going to look at Max Fried and Maka Waka in this one. Let's go look at the sheet. All right, let's go look at the list here. So we got Max Fried here, ranked as the third best arm on the slate here, taking on Kansas City. Um, like I said, important things to look at. He has a 26.9% K rate. That's looking pretty good. Only a 3% walk rate. Ground ball. Max Fried could be in a pretty solid spot here. The only bad thing about Kansas City is Kansas City doesn't really like to strike out the ball, like to strike out a lot. So Max Fried, usually a strikeout pitcher, but like I said, going up against a little bit harder of a team to strike out in Kansas City, I still think he probably strikes out 5 to 6 here, and I still think he's a good cash game play because, like I said, Kansas City doesn't really have any power. Look at that. The ISO right there is at 100, so that's obviously favoring the pitcher. As you see, if it goes to 180 or anything like that, that's pure power. That's good. So Kansas City at 100 does not hit the ball for power. They do, and Walba recently is only at 219, so Kansas City's really not hitting well. I think it's a good spot for Fried. At 10-2 is a little expensive. I think he's going to get you about 38 to 40 still, maybe even 42 if he gets that win. So definitely keep in mind an eye on that. So Fried is up there, probably top five, but definitely not my favorite. And then we got Michael Walker ranked 27. Like I said, we'll talk about the stack here in a little bit. But as you can see, not the greatest matchup here for Mr. Michael Walker. Only has a 17% K rate on the year, only a 9% swing strike, so he's not missing the barrel a ton. 12% walk rate, so he's walking quite a bit. 50 and 38% ground ball rate, so that's not too shabby. But I mean, the Yankees are the Yankees, like we know how they are. I mean, right here, Walba is a 366, 240 ISO for the Yankees. Like I said, they haven't been crazy recently, 166 ISO, but against Waka here in Yankee Stadium, I mean, we saw what Yankees did last night. They scored 4 runs, but it was mostly just home runs. So if they get a couple men on, they can score 7 or 8 runs here. So definitely, like I said, we'll talk about it later. But New York is definitely up there on a stack. All right, Ryan Peabot, and Walker Buehler. Sorry if I mess up the names. We got Ryan here ranked the ninth, so kind of a GPP play. Only 8,800 on FanDuel. Only 21% K rate, has a 13.6% swing strike percentage. So that means he is missing the barrel quite a bit. So that's probably one of the reasons why he's up there. 25% K rate here for Boston recently. ISO is low, so I don't mind Ryan in some GPPs. I still expect Boston to get 2 or 3 runs here. So, is he my favorite? Definitely not. I think he can probably get you 28 to 32. So he's like a mid range player, but nothing that I'm going to be like, oh my goodness. I think there's better mid rangers out there. And then we're gonna go look at Mr. Walker Buehler here, see how he's doing. There he is. So he's ranked 22nd on the slate, only a 20% K rate, 8% swing strikes, so he's not missing a lot of barrels. He only has a 3% walk rate, so he's making people are making contact off him for sure. He's not walking anybody. Tampa's only been striking out 19% of the time here recently, so they don't strike out, and also Peeler's not the biggest strikeout guy this year, so they're expecting Tampa to get a couple more runs here. Pretty good Walba ISO. Tampa's not the biggest home run team, but like I said, they should get a couple hits here. So I don't mind looking at Tampa. Favorite stack, no, but definitely a stack that I think is definitely you know, stack that you can look at. Morton Allen. I'm not gonna get like I said, I'm gonna skip past a couple of these games. I'm not really into this one. Morton's walk rate is horrendous. If you want to do GPPs, you could. Allen is terrible. Definitely could talk about the stacks against him. And then we got Spencer Schweilebach. I have no idea how to say his name. 10,800 taken on Toronto in this one, but yeah, he's been doing pretty good. Ranked 10th on the slate, so that he might have a couple runs against him. But 26% K rate, 15% swing strike, so he is absolutely missing everything. 20% fly ball rate, so he's looking pretty dang good here. So and like I said, ISO for Toronto is only at a 105, so they really haven't been doing a lot. They haven't been striking out. They have been making contact. They just haven't been hitting for power. So I don't mind him. He is ranked 10th, so the model's saying maybe Toronto can get to him here. So like I said, 10,008 ranked 10th on the models. You know what I'm saying? So he might give up a couple runs here. But it is early on, so maybe the models will change. New York and Minnesota. I really do like Tyler Miguel here against Minnesota, depending on what's going on with them. I haven't seen how bad it is, but Tyler Miguel is ranked 5th on the slate today at only $9,000. Taking on Minnesota, he has a 27% K rate. The only bad thing about Tyler is he is walking 11.3% walk rate. So hopefully he can limit his walk rate because that will obviously make that pitch count go up a little bit. So only 20% K rate here recently for Minnesota. Like I said, Walba's only at 271, ISO's 124. So I think this can be a medium game here for Tyler Miguel, probably like 5 or 6 innings, maybe 4 or 5 strikeouts, 1 or 2 walks. So, like I said, a solid mid-range guy, and he should get the win here. Maybe, like I said, 30, 32 fantasy points, maybe a little more. But it's just the strikeout matchup isn't the greatest for him. That's the only thing that's kind of holding him back. And Bailey Ober, So he's ranked 21st. Another guy that could get lit up in this one. 20% walk rate, K rate, 10% walk rate, only a 26% ground ball rate. So he's putting a lot of balls in the air, and the Mets could definitely take advantage of that with Pete Alonso and Soto and stuff like that. Like I said, they're not striking out a ton, and they let's see, and only a 153 ISO. So like I said, they definitely could attack in this one. So Mets could be a sneaky one. I think Jeffrey Spriggs is going to be your chalky pitcher of the day. I think everybody's going to have him, and he's rated our second pitcher on the slate. As you can see there. So yeah, I mean it's going to be a chalky one. 23% K rate, 13% swing strike. He is walking a little bit, but he is taking on Chicago, so I'm not too worried about him. As you can see here, opponent on the year 260 Walba, which is really low. ISO literally is .99. They're not even hitting barely any home runs. 24% K rate. Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a chalky spot for him. I think he, 4 or 5 strikeouts, well, maybe 5 or 6 strikeouts, a couple walks, but I think Spriggs definitely should be in a good spot. So he's going to be your main guy that everyone's going to have in this one. Detroit and let's see here, Detroit and Milwaukee. Jack Flaherty here as well. I think thought I saw him. There he is. So he's ranked 6. So this is a guy I really don't mind here. 10,000. Milwaukee, the only thing is not striking out a lot, but 31% K rate for Jack Flaherty. That walk rate is a little bit high, but like I said, it's just Milwaukee is not striking out a lot. Their Wobas at 323, so they are hitting the ball a little bit. Um, It's a 23% K rate and 30. I really don't mind taking a shot with Jack Flaherty here. I think he goes maybe a little lower owned. But we saw kind of what happened yesterday. They did strike out quite a bit against Skubal. Obviously, he's better than Flaherty, but Flaherty's still a solid pitcher. So I really don't mind maybe looking to add a little bit of him as well. Hunter Brown, Eric Feedy. I think Feedy definitely could get lit up in this game. He doesn't strike out anybody, and he's ranked 25th on the models. 8% K rate, 14% walk rate. So this guy, like I said, doesn't strike out. Houston doesn't strike out at all. We saw that yesterday with Sonny Gray. So I really think Houston can get to Eric Fetty here. So guys I'm looking at is like Jordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, Isaac Paredes, Jeremy Pena, you can definitely stack a little bit of that. So I don't mind taking on Eric Feedy. And like I said, if the wind's blowing out, that's even more of a plus. Moving on, we got LA and Texas Rangers. We have Yusei Kikuchi taking on MVP Patrick Corbin. And I'm obviously joking about Patrick Corbin. So Yusei Kikuchi, he's ranked 17th, so not the greatest matchup for him. In this one, 21% K rate, fly ball rate still at 46%, so it's a little bit high. Taking on a Ranger team that can hit some bombs. Recently, though, Rangers are hitting a 173 ISO, so they definitely could hit maybe 1 or 2 off them here in Walva. Walva is at 313. So, um, yeah, guys, I don't mind. I mean, like I said, probably right-handed guys against, taking them on. Garcia, Josh Young, Jonah Heim could even hit a bomb in this one. Corey Seager's another solid option, so don't mind looking at that. And then on the flip side, Patrick Corbin, my goodness, this poor guy. Ranked 23rd, has a 0% K rate, didn't strike anyone out last time, 10% walk rate, a 41% fly ball rate. So this guy should get absolutely pummeled in this one. I expect him to be really popular as stack against. Angels ISO last week is 275, so they are absolutely hitting some bombs. And they also have a 343 Wolba. So I expect them to hit them pretty dang good in this one. So I do like Angels. Like say Corbin's a lefty, so you got Taylor Ward, Mike Trout, Luis Renfrigo. Got a lot of those guys. Logan O'Hoppe. Don't mind a couple of those guys as well. Chicago and San Diego. Shota Umaga taking on Randy Vasquez. So I really don't mind going up against Vasquez here. He's ranked 30th, one of the worst of models, right next to Burke. Both these guys are just not great. 9% strikeout rate, 19% walk rate. Go to light him up in this game. They did, they even got to Dylan Cease, one of the better pitchers in the game. So, yeah, I mean, this should be a good one for Chicago. 2-2 ISO, Waba's at 349, so they're hitting the ball, they're hitting some home runs. So guys like Tucker, Nico Horner, um, or if Suzuki, if he plays. Bush has been on fire, Swanson, so I really don't mind a little bit of a Cubby stack taking on Vasquez, one of the worst pitchers in the league. And then Shuto Umaga, he's all right, but I'm not really touching him. Because San Diego doesn't really strike out. Colorado and LA to end it here. Fetler and Landon Knack. So kind of like May yesterday. If you want to go GPP, you can look at Landon Knack. I do like May more than Knack, but um, like I said, it's not bad. He has a 26 K rate, so he's striking out a little bit. He is at an 18.2% walk rate, so that's a really bad thing about Knack. He might only go 4 or 5 innings if he does get that walk rate up. If he keeps it low, then yeah, we're in a good spot. Ground ball rate's 53%, beautiful 23% fly ball rate. And then, like I said, Colorado is absolutely trash. 29% K rate. ISO's only at a 119. So if Knack can keep going, yeah. So I think if you're doing GPPs, Knack's probably your dump pitcher 7,400, and then go get some pretty good stacks, against him. I mean, sorry, with him, if you want to do that way. And then, like I said, Ryan Fetler, actually kind of half decent on this slate. Nothing too bad. As you see, he's ranked 19, so I don't mind a little Dodger stack, but there's other better plays out there. So that's kind of what we got going on, guys. Like I said, there's so many numbers on there, but like I said, the main ones to look at it's a K rate, swing strike percentage, walk, and all that stuff. So, um, but yeah, so basically, I really don't mind the a New York stack here against Waka. So Judge, Rice, Anthony Volpe, Cody Bellinger. I don't mind a little bit of stack. I think they can get to him in this one. Um, Boston and Tampa, I'm not really stacking any of these teams. Let's go look at the stack sheet real quick and see what the top stacks are of the day. So number one is the Yankees, as I thought. Chicago is fourth. We got the Angels, number three. Athletics, a sneaky Athletics at number seven on the rank. And then we got San Diego Padres ranked six as well. So, that's what I'm saying. Shuto Umaga might get hit up a little bit here. So, yeah, you got Tampa, as I mentioned, New York, Chicago, Texas as a GPP. Angels, like I said, should be absolutely really popular in this one. And like I said, you got the Padres as well. They did pretty good last night, so I'm probably going to favorite the Cubs stack in this one. So that's what we got going on. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it, guys. So yeah, like I said, there's your top stack, some of your pictures that we talked about. Once again, I appreciate you guys watching. Leave a like. And like I said, if you want to get in on premium, like I said, it was another W for us. 219.9, top 5% finish last night. Like I said, in the Monster, would have won $600. Or anywhere you would have played, we would have won. So come join us. Like I said, only $28 for the month, which is very, very cheap. 2 lineups per day, 1 cash and 1 GPP. If you guys want to get in, check us out, Chris Anthony NBA1 on Twitter, and also, like I said, hit us up on Twitter for our free Discord where we post our picks. All right, once again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. If there's anything else I could do or anything you guys want to look at, leave a comment. I definitely do appreciate it. All right, guys, once again, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.